Good morning. I'm meteorologist Lisa Green with a look at our forecast on this first alert weather day. We've been talking about how it's October 1st all morning on the Valley today and on social media, but it does not feel like it. It feels like we're still in August in a lot of instances, and we're looking out for summertime kind of hazards, including our fire weather risk for today. We've had summertime thunderstorms, and we've got summertime heat coming up too. So it's all the summer stuff that's happening now on this first day of October. So we're going to talk about the significance of that and take a look at our forecast as we are going to see a cool down in store for us as well coming up here in the 11-day planner. So let's take a look at what we've got going on. I want to focus first on the rain we've had and the rain we're seeing. This is in the Donaldson area, northwest Minnesota. You see the raindrops on the camera there along Highway 11. Northwest Minnesota still seeing a little thunder shower going through. And here's a look at the latest radar. This cluster of thunderstorm activity, I've been following it all morning since we started the North Dakota today at 4:30 this morning. It's been going on even before then. I was tracking that. So that continues to drift off to the northeast. It has not been severe. I don't expect severe. There's a low risk for that, but there's still some downpours. We've had some areas of heavy rain. We've also had some lightning associated with the storms that have developed. So that's still going to be a hazard for anybody stepping outside. So I want to avoid going outdoors while that thunderstorm's moving through. I know for some of us, we've had some ongoing rounds of it in these areas that have been getting it. And you can see there's still some pockets where we're seeing a little bit of light rain, but overall, the vast majority of us not being impacted at all. For example, Fargo hasn't seen any rain today. A lot of lakes country as well, at least not seeing the thunderstorm activity. So this is going to continue to drift to the northeast. So along Highway 11 up toward Roseau, we'll see that chance for rain moving through. And again, the lightning and thunder a possibility too. And we'll turn on our lightning data here with this storm, and you can see there is still some lightning being produced. Generally speaking, the expectation here is that it will weaken as it continues to move to the northeast. But, you know, we still have downpours. We still have some lightning that'll affect your drive and your lunch break coming up here today, and the possibility for that to last into the afternoon. I can't rule out more thunderstorm development in some areas. We'll show you that in just a moment. It's been a lot of heavy rain in spots. You can see some of the same areas have been getting that rain. It's basically the rainfall here. This is 48-hour rainfall. It goes back 48 hours technically, but we're really talking about today when we've been seeing these storms moving through. And this is radar estimated. So based on what the radar was detecting, how much the radar's calculated that we've seen as far as rain is concerned. And anywhere where we have the yellow, we're looking at more than an inch of rain that's fallen according to this. And this stretches all the way up toward western parts of Marshall County. And then you kind of see that bullseye in Nelson County. We got back-to-back thunderstorms in that area this morning. And so that was between the Mackville and the Pekin area, Tolna here as well. And right in that bullseye, radar estimating 3 to 4 inches of rain. That might be a little high, but we do have a report from the Pekin area of 2.19 inches of rainfall, so a little over 2 inches of rain that fell there. The Binford area nearby, McHenry, not too far away, in that 1 inch range. Binford about 1.5 inches, a report coming from that area. And then Alvarado in Minnesota, that, you know, you saw that line extend up into northwest Minnesota. Alvarado reporting just under 3/4 of an inch of rain, and Cooperstown also saw a significant amount of rain. So some of us got some good rain this morning and continues today. So these areas, these specific spots, are going to be less likely to have to deal with the fire danger today because we've gotten the moisture to help eliminate the dry fuel situation that we have in place across a good portion of the valley. However, overall, we've got fire weather concerns continuing as the day goes on with the wind picking up and our dry conditions. We'll step over here so we can go over the concerns here. So we're looking at wind gusts getting into that 40-mile-per-hour range coming up for today. A lot of us more gusting into the 30s, but we could peak at 40. We've got dry air with it. We've got very dry vegetation. The growing season has ended or is ending, so a lot of leftover plants out there that are no longer green and lush. They're dried up, and so that provides fuel for fires that may spread when we've got some wind gusts like we will see. The risk is moderate. It's not a high risk, but we're still looking out for that possibility. I know a lot of folks are out for the harvest with farm equipment, that kind of stuff, so keep that in mind as you're out doing your business and taking a look at all areas really under that risk. Again, aside from those places that got the rain this morning, And the risk will be greatest during the afternoon hours when we're warmest and our relative humidity will be lowest today. So first alerting you to that, let's take a look at our current wind gusts. We've got gusts as high as 35 miles per hour in Oaks, a gust of 32 in Fargo, and in Fergus Falls, Grand Forks a gust of 31. So certainly seeing a windy day here today. This is not unusual. We know the drill here in the valley. It can be quite windy. This isn't too bad, but again, when we've got the other factors weighing in, that could lead to a little bit of fire weather concern here heading into today. So let's take a look at our wind forecast. As the day goes on, you can see those strong wind possibilities continue through the evening hours, but little by little, our chances for strong winds start to go down as we head into this evening. So we'll start to see some relief this evening for especially west. And then the wind field continues to move east overnight, and we quiet down as we head into tomorrow. So here's a look at our fire weather safety reminders. Again, number one, avoid outdoor burning during days like today if you can. And then, other things that you may not think of, using caution if you're using equipment that sparks, avoid parking in grass, check for dragging chains. Obviously we want to make sure we're properly disposing of cigarettes and smoking materials anyway, but especially on days like today. And another thing, as you're out, if you're out doing the harvest, make sure you've got a fire extinguisher in with your farm equipment, just in case a fire starts. You can put it out quickly that way. So here's a look at our hour-by-hour planner. We're going to focus in on the rain chances right now. Again, we're tracking that little cluster of rain and thunder showers in northwest Minnesota. Those will continue to roll off to the northeast. And then you can see mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies for a lot of places. And I can't rule out a couple of pop-up showers. This is 3 p.m. Pop-up showers and thunder showers heading into the afternoon and evening, especially in the northern valley. You can see that potential's there. This is 6 p.m., seeing some of that in northwest Minnesota. So that's something to watch out for today. And then continuing on into tonight, we will see the weather quiet down, and we'll end up with some pretty decent weather to kick off the day tomorrow. And tomorrow we're watching for record-breaking high temperatures. So each day there's something different going on here in our forecast. Today, again, very warm. We're looking at highs in the upper 70s to some mid-80s. Windy weather going on. Our humidity levels aren't going to be terribly low, but they will be low enough, again, that we do have that moderate risk for fire weather. So let's talk about October. We're doing another on this date. So on October 1st, this is the date where, on average, the Grand Forks National Weather Service office, there's a climate site there where they keep track of climate data, the oldest one in Grand Forks, and this is the average first freeze that we experience there on this date. So we are not going to be seeing that today, but it kind of gives some perspective on just how warm we are. We are talking about highs in the 80s, and yet on average we experience our first freeze on this date. So a little bit of a departure from that average from what we typically see. And as we move into this first day and this month of October, just taking a look at our climatology, Summer Schnallbach put this together for us, and you can see in Grand Forks our average high for today's date is 63. By the 31st, our average high is going to be 45, so looking much cooler by the end of the month. On average, again, average low is 39. By October 31st, our average low is 26. Of course, we're losing daylight still. We'll talk more about that coming up on another day. And average precipitation is under 2 inches. Average snowfall, starting to talk more about that, getting into October, is 1.6 inches of snow. That's Grand Forks. Let's take a look at Fargo. Our average high today is 65, and our forecast is 84, so 19-degree difference, almost 20-degree difference in our forecast temperatures. But by October 31st, by Halloween, we're talking about an average high of 47. So we really lose a lot of heat as we're losing more and more of that sun's direct light. And average lows go from 42 to 28, so definitely cooling down. Average precipitation a little over 2 inches. An average snowfall, 1.2 inches. So in October, we do average some measurable snow. So here we go. Not feeling it yet, still feeling the heat. But, since we're getting into October now, and today's the first day, I thought we'd check in on those milestone days ahead. So Halloween, counting today, Halloween is 31 days away. We fall back. The next kind of marker here is on November 2nd, and that's in 33 days when we end daylight saving time, and we get some we shift sunlight to the mornings, and we lose it in the evening, so it definitely feels darker then. Thanksgiving is in under 60 days, Christmas under 90 days, and New Year's Day a little over 90 days. So again, we're moving into, as we get into further into the Burr months, we're getting closer to a lot of those holidays and changes that we experience as we move into the winter time. So not talking about that at all here in our weather in the forecast. You can see that we get to keep around the toasty temperatures heading into the next few days. Today, again, is a first alert weather day for fire risk. And then tomorrow, I think we have a good shot at seeing some records being set, or at least getting very close to them, especially in Grand Forks. I think our record high, I'd have to go back and look, but I believe it's 85, so we're going to be very close in Grand Forks. And then for Fargo, I believe it's 90, but don't quote me on that. I'll have to go back and look at that. But we're going to be very close. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 90-degree temperature tomorrow like we saw earlier this week. And then heading into Friday, that's the day we'll still be toasty, but it's also a day where we'll start to see our chances for rain return, a day of change, as we work our way into a weekend of change. And looking ahead to Saturday and Sunday, you can see Saturday we're going to be getting into some upper 70s. We'll have a few showers, and our best bet for rain will be in the evening hours on Sunday, and then Saturday rather, and then moving into Sunday, we're looking at the possibility for some more soaking rain, much cooler temperatures, and we're actually in the process of raising a first alert weather day for Sunday because it is going to be such a dramatic difference. We just want to give you that heads up. But looking at breezy conditions coming up and a high of 67. So, if we get to 87 any of these 3 days ahead, that'll be a 20-degree difference again on Sunday. And we just talked about our average high for today's date is 65. So huge drop, huge cool down, but it still will be above average for this time of year. So that just, again, tells you how we are so much warmer right now than average. And then heading into next week, the first full week of October, you can see temperatures are going to be into the 60s for the week, and we stay in that range as we head into next weekend as well. So again, first alert weather day today, we've got that moderate fire danger going on with the wind picking up. We're also, of course, looking out for some rain and thunder showers as well. And it's hard to believe that it's October 1st that we're talking about both those things, especially because we have high temperatures in the 80s the next few days. But yes, fall is coming. It's going to make its presence known this weekend and hang around into next week. And we'll see beyond there what we can expect to have in the forecast. But as we saw in our climatology, we really lose a lot of heat as we go through the month of October. We really start to cool down. So some changes in store. Get ready for them. And if you love the summer weather, you still have today and 2 more days on top of that of some warm temperatures to enjoy. So again, try to avoid fire danger here today. Try to avoid anything that's going to spark a fire or spread a fire. And keep an eye out for lightning as well with some of those thunder showers that are moving through here, the valley, especially in the northern valley right now. I'm just checking Facebook to see if anybody has any comments or questions really quick. Always want to make sure that we are answering your questions if we can during our live updates that we do each day. And I see people watching, but no comments. But feel free anytime to reach out and ask a question or maybe let your opinion be known about whether you like summer weather or that we're experiencing now, or you'd really prefer to see that fall weather come. We'd love to hear from you. You can comment right on Facebook. And you can always check on the latest weather, too, on the VNL Weather app. Meanwhile, we'll have another update this afternoon. You'll hear more about the changes happening into the weekend coming up this afternoon from our evening crew. And you can always, of course, watch Valley News Live newscast, too, coming up for tonight with the latest information and tracking any storms that might be popping up this afternoon and into this evening.